Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and I'm going to take up this games with your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. Blazkowicz is back, again, in this prequel to the New Order that feels a lot more like a traditional Wolfenstein game. Is this spin-off worth bleeding over? Wolfenstein: The Old Blood is available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and is of course also available via Game Pass. Should you wish to buy it, it's going to be $20, and the game is about 6 to 8 hours long. So what exactly is Wolfenstein: The Old Blood? Well, it's basically a giant standalone expansion to the New Order, so a lot of stuff I said in that review applies here. It's a boomy shooter with old school sensibilities and an emphasis on spectacle, stealth, and story, though less story this time around. Set just before the beginning of the New Order, BJ is sent to infiltrate Castle Wolfenstein, while an evil scientist is doing something, well, evil, and he's gotta kill Nazis and take names to put a stop to it. Of course, he's captured nearly instantly, a la Wolf 3D, but soon busts out and is on his way to blow some humanoid Nazi monstrosities away. Old Blood's core loop is basically identical to the New Order, except with the lack of a hub area, as now almost all missions flow directly into the next one. BJ will battle his way out of Castle Wolfenstein and then into a local village, into a graveyard, an ancient tomb, and put an end to these Nazi zombie experiments. Oh, did I mention there are Nazi zombies? Mechanically, you'll be doing a lot of the same stuff. Commanders in each zone need to be dealt with stealthily or else they'll summon enemies ad nauseum, while commanderless zones can be blasted through at your leisure by either dual-wielding everything or using cover to your advantage. There are plenty of secrets in the forms of letters and gold to find, as well as some dream sequences where modern BJ plays some classic Wolf 3D levels at half the movement speed. Yeah, they're a cute homage, but man, do they drag. The story itself is much lighter this time, with most of it happening at the front and back ends of the game. You will meet a handful of villagers who will help you, but none of them stick around long enough to be fully developed. And while BJ is the same character, he's much less world-weary this time around, which allows for some good one-liners that I appreciated. So all in all, that's really it. This is a game that uses the framework from the New Order and then plops it in a more traditional Wolfenstein setting. And it even gives you the sawed-off double barrel at the start of the zombie section. It knows what I like. So what do I like about Wolfenstein: The Old Blood? Well, it still has that same solid boomy shoot from the New Order with a bajillion guns and a few new ones, dual wielding, and that punchy combat. Additionally, I really love the setting. Returning to Wolfenstein Castle and adding the supernatural Nazi zombies is a fantastic homage to previous games, specifically Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Lastly, it's a great bite-sized expansion experience. They probably could have half-assed it, but it really feels like they went all out in making this a standalone expansion at the same quality level as the New Order. When it comes to the bad, that difficulty weirdness from the New Order is even worse here, with the game being much harder and also much stingier around ammo, weapons, and so on. I found myself switching difficulties often to try and get a general feel for it, and felt there was no rhyme or reason as to whether or not an area was hard or not. It's really kind of all over the place. Additionally, the game starting off with a stealth section where you will die if you fail was an awful idea. Did we learn nothing from the Pirate's Fortress from Wind Waker? And lastly, the story overall wasn't nearly as compelling as the previous game, and the game does recycle a handful of areas, mostly the village, and isn't generally as bombastic in nature as the first one, so the overall pacing felt a little weird. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. I think The Old Blood is a maybe consider. And man, I really wanted to like The Old Blood more than even the New Order because it was everything I thought I liked from the franchise. Big creepy castle, European setting, Nazi zombies. But I felt from both a gameplay and story perspective, it pales in comparison to the New Order in almost every way. Now, that is not me saying it is bad. If you like the New Order, absolutely play this, you will like it as well. But all in all, I wish it had been a bit tighter in those story and gameplay elements. It's still worth checking out on Game Pass, just be aware it may not excite as much as its predecessor did. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, what do you think about it? I know it's a fan favorite. I wanted to like it more than I did, but still a lot of fun. So regardless, I suggest checking it out.